So, hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Orlando. First video, it's first serious video. So, looking forward to it. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. I'm outside. It's a little bit windy today, but not too bad. Definitely wanted to take in some of the sun, so figured y'all can enjoy some of this weather with me. Basically, had something interesting happen to me today. It was a bit of a testament to how far I've come and wanted to share it. Felt like something from above, something bigger than me. So wanted to share it with y'all. So basically what happened was got into a situation, a little bit of a road rage thing. Guy called me out of my name. It was a whole kerfuffle, bringing that word back. And it was weird because, of course, we both had to eventually park, and we ran into each other as soon as it was over and had a nice little conversation. And I told him my name, and I was just like, that's my name. That not what you called me, but if you want to know, that's my name. And I made sure I made that clear. And lo and behold, we had some more conversations. He called me out of my name again, or he basically said I was acting like a bee, acting like a little bitch. But it is what it is. I've been on his side of things too. But what happened later, which was pretty weird and pretty crazy, was he came back and he apologized, and he said that wasn't him. He said that he had been going through some stuff. His grandma had just passed away. If I'm not mistaken, he said yesterday or 2 days ago. I believe he said yesterday. So, that's hard. That's the matriarch, you know what I mean? That's, no matter who you are, losing that family member is always challenging. But he was going through it, basically. And what I realized was he was me. He was me in the past. How I would have handled that situation during that first part, it was probably worse than what he said, what he did. I would have lashed out. I would have called people out of their name. I would have said much worse. I would have been you MF and da 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 da. Your mother's a la da la, and just so on and so forth. That's where I was. I spoke with a lot of hate because I didn't like myself. I hated myself. So I had to recognize that he was me. I was speaking to the old me. And I honestly think it was the Lord testing me to a degree, because that wasn't him. You could tell, looking back on it, you could tell when he said it, it wasn't him. It wasn't like him to say that. The way he cussed me out didn't seem like him. It seemed like it was something out of the norm. And we hugged it out, literally. And it was pretty cool to do so, considering, you don't see that too often. And I said my goodbyes to him when we ended up leaving as well, and said sorry for your loss, and just reminded him that it's about the memories that we make with those people versus remembering the actual loss itself, which, that's something that you think about a little bit later than how recent that was. But anyway, I had to realize I was talking to myself. I was talking to the old me. And that's something that I didn't expect, but I had come so far, so very far from that. I didn't talk out of turn. I didn't cuss him out. Whenever we had our first engagement, I told him who I was, and I told him I wasn't a bitch. And that if he needed to refer to me, I told him my name. I said, hey, if you need to refer to me, this is it. And when he came to apologize, he said the same thing. He said, hey, by the way, my name is so-and-so, and I do apologize. I'm sorry, that wasn't me. That's not who I am. He's just, like I said, he's been going through a lot. So-and-so had happened, and thus, and so on and so forth. So, sometimes you have to remove yourself from these type of things. Take a look outward versus internalizing it, because you just never know what someone else is going through. That was a release for him at that moment. That was nothing personal. It wasn't directed towards me. It was just a brief incident that he ended up lashing out at. And after, 5 minutes or so, he was able to think about it and realize, you know what, that was stupid. That wasn't me. That's not how I would normally react. It was out of character. And like I said, that was a reflection of the old me. That was a reflection of how I used to behave, how much I used to just act on emotion, given the time, given whatever I was going through at that, however I felt at that given moment. And I would lash out, I would hurt people because I was hurting. One of my favorite quotes that I picked up online, some random post, it goes something along the lines of, you have to remember to heal yourself, because otherwise you'll end up bleeding on people who never even hurt you. And it stuck with me because, let's face it, we're all hurting inside. We all have the things that have traumatized us, these things that have taken away from us, who have stripped us to the bone. And if we don't put in the time to actually investigate, to actually heal from these things, we're gonna end up putting that onto someone else. We're gonna end up basically lashing out, using those emotions and channeling it into something negative. And I refuse to do that. I refuse to put others through that. I refuse to let my pain that I've experienced be put onto others. So just remember that going forward. Remember that in your darkest moments. Remember that when things are rough, that you are not your feelings right now. You are not your feelings in that instant. You are bigger than that. You are stronger than that. And with that, you will continue to grow if you keep that mindset. It's crazy what looking in the mirror through someone else can do, for me at least in that instance, because like I said, that was the Lord speaking. That was a brief little message, reassurance, if you will, that this was you, man. That in that brief moment of him lashing out, that's how I used to be. But even more so, it was a test to see how would you respond in this situation. And I came at it level-headed, which is kind of a shock looking back at it, but also from a standpoint of adult. No more tantrums, no more lashing out, no more emotions just overflowing for the sake of overflowing. You're bigger than that. We're bigger than that. So please, I know it's easier said than done, but like I said before, when things get bad, when things get rough, when you're in that pit, that all too familiar pit, just remember to take a step back. You don't have to react immediately. You don't have to lash out. You are strong. You are wise. And you're bigger and better than you ever known. So please continue to remember that and take this message for what it is, a period of growth. So, reflecting on these type of things, it's kind of nice to see how far I've come. But I still got work to do, just like we all do. If you have any stories to tell, similar in nature, feel free to share them. I'm looking forward to posting more. I've been a little bit more busy, especially with school, than I'd like to care to mention, but priorities are priorities. But I'm going to keep it going. You take care now. Stay blessed. And have a great day. Bye-bye.